is that?
Welcome back to the. That's how many jobs Mr. Obama produced last month.
Oh my God! Food props. What is this?
A bagel, a donut, zero. Welcome back to the 5. After so much hoopla over the president's big jobs plan, now the White House seems to be lowering expectations. Bob, leave that there for the big jobs speech this Thursday. Aides to the president, however, are telling reporters that he will not present his entire plan this week and that details will surface throughout the fall. So let me get this straight. We waited for the big bus tour to end. We waited for the Martha's Vineyard golf vacation to finish, the long weekend, the zero jobs created, and now we're going to wait for Obama's jobs plan yet again. Anyone else, this guy is simply out of ideas and lost. Bob, I want to go to you because you're a gambler. I spent my time at casinos. When you're relying on hope and fear, you know that that's a gambler's last-ditch effort. This guy's banking American jobs on hope and fear.
Well, first of all, let me just ask you, where'd you get these bagels? Because they're pretty good.
They're in the green room.
Oh, okay. Very good, actually. Look, you said this is how many jobs Mr. Obama created this many jobs. It's not up to Mr. Obama to create jobs. It's up to corporate America to create jobs and business in America to create jobs. They've got all the money in the world, record profits. They're not creating any jobs, are they?
No, they're not because they're not sure
I
about
know they got
taxes,
excuse.
They're not sure about
because
regulation.
they want to pay themselves more money. They want to hoard their money overseas, and they want to get cheap labor overseas.
This is a brilliant strategy. He's managing and lowering his expectations. I do this all the time on blind dates. I tell them I'm very short.
You don't have to worry about it.
Very short. And then when they see me, they go, "Oh, he's not that short." But I am.
Andrew,
Under promise, over deliver.
Are you shocked that all of a sudden that this big hoopla was surrounding the jobs plan was coming in September? This is during August. It's coming, and now we find out, well, maybe it's not.
Well, I think they're finally waking up to the fact that when they raise the bar so high, it ends up just crushing them and clobbering them. And even Democrats are whispering behind the scenes, look, this isn't going to be able to get what needs to be done. So Greg's absolutely right. They're managing expectations so they have an out. They can say, well, that wasn't everything he promised, so they can start to time release, trickle out some other ideas.
Yeah.
If after the speech everyone goes,
well, just in case they all put it in the office bowl, everyone write an idea down for jobs, and then they're going to pick a couple out because he doesn't have a complete plan. So he says he's just going to give us the little taster, the little hors d'oeuvre.
How do you know he doesn't? How do you know he doesn't have a plan? He talked about an infrastructure bank today. There's been a lot of other talk about more stimulus money. There's been things about cutting back on the payroll tax again. And who's stopping it? Congress. Congress is stopping it.
Those aren't considered great ideas, though.
What's not a great idea about fixing roads and bridges?
Already put out.
An infrastructure bank?
Sure.
Yeah, an infrastructure bank. What's wrong with fixing
Bob,
roads?
those ideas, though, have already, they threw them out as trial balloons to see what would happen. And editorial pages and experts across America have laughed off those ideas. That's why they're saying it's not going to be
how could anybody laugh off the idea of fixing roads and bridges?
Freddie Mae and Fannie Mae.
No, it's not the fixing roads and bridges. It's paying for the fixing of the roads and bridges.
Well,
that's always the problem. Well, we are, the taxpayer. There's only
well, that's right. We're the ones who use it, don't we?
Look at one of the other Democratic representatives. Look at her idea. She has an idea of her own about jobs. Take a listen to Maxine Waters.
The president must be bold. I agree that he must have a jobs program, must create jobs. I'm talking about a program of $1 trillion or more. We've got to put Americans to work. That's the only way to revitalize this economy. When people work and they earn money, they spend that money, and that is what gets the economy up and going.
Greg, what do you think, $1 trillion?
I got to defend her. I think she means trillion means 100.
Yeah.
It's Maxine Waters math?
Yeah.
Or it could mean half.
That's a cheap shot. Let me just say let me just say one thing about this speech that Obama's giving. I hope they understand that when you decide to call a joint session of Congress, you have something important to say. I mean, as a Democrat and a supporter of Obama, my fears are just what Andrea said, that the bar has been held awfully high. When you call a joint session of Congress, you expect to hear something substantive. Now, my hope is that he lays out very specific ideas for job growth that the Congress won't pass. That is, the House of Representatives won't pass.
There's the strategy. Bingo, Bob just unveiled it. He's going to stand in front of the country this week, and he's going to scream and urge Congress to do something. And then when they don't, He'll blame them.
When the
He'll
House of
blame them.
Representatives won't do
Yeah,
something.
go
Are you surprised, or do you think there'll be more of this? But Representative Joe Walsh and now Senator Jim
Boycott.
Are boycott.
Oh,
saying
gee,
they're not
what a
showing
shame.
up.
Well, they say they're not going to show up. Look, I like the idea of people being participatory in government and at least show up and listen to what he has to say. I mean, they could stay home and make it a blockbuster night, you know, have some popcorn. But other than that, be present, be accountable. You would want the same respect afforded you. I also think that Obama's going to go campaigning about this with different economic proposals during the campaign season. That's one of the suggestions.
I have a theory, though. I have a theory. They're not boycotting. That's a great excuse to get out of something. If you look on TV Land, there is a Everybody Loves Raymond marathon that night, and he has a crush on Doris
Listen,
Roberts.
if Wilson and DeMint do not show up at this thing, that's 2 empty suits that'll be missing, carrying
What do
empty
you
suits.
think?
Another
Wait, real quickly. Do you think there'll be more? You think there'll be, I'm guessing
I think
there's
a
gonna be
bunch
lot
of
more than
right-wing
these
nuts
two.
like these guys. This guy said the president of the United States lied. The other guy, DeMint, God knows where
Well,
he's
what
going.
would you? We got to go. But Ange, what would you expect when the president leaking that this isn't going to be the big job speech that everyone was hoping for?
Yeah, I think that he's starting to realize that he raised the bar. This is huge expectations. He's not going to be able to deliver. Eric, he wants an out. He's going to need an out until November. This way that he can't say, this was my plan in totality. He'll just say, I got more, don't worry, when everyone's slaughtered.
Sounds like the
We
barrel
got to
is
go,
empty.
and Bob still is getting
Right.
No, I got to place a bet. I got to
what
bet.
did he
I got
call
to bet. I got to place a
Supercommittee?
bet. Come on.
The Super Committee has their first meeting this Thursday to go through proposed committee rules. When we come back, the 5 of us will talk about whether the Super Committee will be a super success or a super dog. Don't go away.
We're going to talk about it, too.